Alright guys, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making scale diesel stacks. We're going to try to be able to mount these up to any of your scale trucks. What we're going to be using here is we're going to be using 1/2 inch round aluminum tubing and 1/16 inch thick aluminum plate. And we're going to use a little propane, Alumaweld brazing rod. We're going to braze them together, mount them up to the F650. Alright, what we're doing here, we're going to take our aluminum tubing, and your stacks, you want to get your 45-degree angle on them. So we're going to take a square and our Sharpie here, and we're just going to mount it up, and we're going to draw our line on it. Now that way you're going to end up with a 45-degree line, and then what we'll do is we'll go over to the grinder and we'll slowly grind down carefully until we get to our 45. Now I'll leave it up to you whether you want to do that first or whether you want to just start off with the flat piece. That way when you take your flat plate and you want to mount it up, we're going to use a bar clamp to hold it down steady. That way when we apply the heat and then we touch on the Alumaweld rod, it won't fall over and we get a perfectly 90-degree angle on our joint. We've got our line made. This is going to be our 45-degree angle. And here we go. What we end up with once we're done grinding doesn't look like much, but by the time we get done cleaning it up, it'll look just like the other one. And what we're going to use to get a nice straight cut on your tubing is just a simple pipe cutter. I took this one already and used a Dremel, and as we can see, it's not the best edge there. Now of course that could be part of my doing too. What we want to do is we want to come over here to our truck. Now we've already got our holes pre-drilled in the body for the proper size, and we're going to take and slide this down just to where the height that you want it to be at, and we made a mark. Now what we'll do is we'll take the pipe cutter here, we'll put it in, we'll cut the pipe to the right length, and then we'll be ready to braze it to this flat plate that we fit in here. I measured up for how wide we want it to be, and that'll go on the underside. We've made our two spots here where we're going to line up the pipe onto and braze it together. And the finished product will have, you can mount it however you like, but I'm just going to use Velcro on here and then a piece of Velcro on the underside of the body, and that way we'll have a nice flat plate with the stacks coming up. It's a slow process. Really slow. Just like that. We can go over to the grinder and clean that up a little bit so we've got a good, nice flat surface to be able to mount up just like this. to start making our stacks. Now, one of the key things that you need to do before you get ready to braze is take a steel brush and you want to clean up your surface right here where the aluminum weld is going to attach to. Without doing this, you won't get a good bond. There's this very thin coating on this aluminum. You need to be able to get that off. That way you have a clean joint. Take our plate and do the same. Okay, so what we did, since we went ahead and already put a 45-degree angle on it, we needed to come up with a way to be able to mount it. So that way it was perpendicular with the plate aluminum. So what we used here, we've got a bolt with a nut and a washer to help keep that angle and to be able to keep it flat. And we marked it all together with a C-clamp. Now what we can do is we can start adding our heat, and that way we've got our hands free to put in our welding rod. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let it heat up, get the flame on it, right where we need our joint to be. And then once we feel that it's warm enough, we'll take our rod. Yep, not warm enough yet. Getting there. Just like that, we've got a joint all the way around. Now we just got to do it times 2. Okay, here we go. We've got them all brazed up. It'll turn out looking just like that. Now all we need to do is attach it to the body. We're going to try using Velcro and see how that turns out, and we'll just go from there.